Welcome back to Because We Got High with Rhea, Kelly, and Bree. We are on episode W, making our way to the end of the alphabet. We're going to be talking about websites this time around. And as always, this podcast is presented by OCB Rolling Papers, the best rolling papers in all of the land, in all of the world, all of the earth. OCB Rolling Papers has you covered with their bamboo cones, their organic hemp, also their regular papers that you can roll yourself. It also comes with some mouthpieces, little booklets, also some rolling trays. So if you go to ocbusa.com/hi, you can get yourself a nice deal for way less than what it would usually cost, usually $20 or more, but not this time with OCB. So go to ocbusa.com/hi, get yourself a nice little deal, smoke what we're smoking, get yourself the OCB Rolling Papers. We are on episode W. We're recording over Zoom because unfortunately we have a fallen soldier. Kelly Keegs has
R.I.P.
attained the virus.
R.I.P. to me.
What's the word I'm looking for? Not attained.
I've acquired
the virus.
You've acquired
the virus.
I've acquired the virus. It's not great. It's not fantastic, but we're here. We're living. I keep wondering if I haven't said really anything online that I'm sick. I didn't want to be like the one that has it, but whatever. Now here we are.
I saw Lil Sass tweeted very seriously that he wasn't going to be able to be at a show. He was like, I'm not going to be able to be at the Naughty and Nice show Friday the 17th because I have COVID. And it was like, I thought it was a joke, but it's just not a joke. He actually does. And so I was waiting for your tweet or like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, yeah, going out, but I don't think you need to.
I think I'm getting enough like texts that I don't need the internet attention about it. So
right. You're getting enough attention in your real life. So you're like, okay with the online one. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. We'll see how I feel again in a couple of days. I'm like halfway through my shit though. Like I can go back to work on Friday. So I'm excited about that, at least to get the fuck out of the house. I just don't like being in the house. That's the issue for me. I hate being in the house. So, whatever though. I feel okay. Yeah. I'll survive.
You are an out and about kind of chick. So
sit on your fire
kind of girl.
Just think.
Honestly, I've been thinking about it, but we have discussed this before, Brianna, that the murderer is out there. So there's just no possible way I could sit on the fire escape. But thank you for that. I'll just get murdered if I go out there. So
that's true.
We don't want that.
No.
But glad you're feeling better. You had a rough couple of days, but happy to feel that you're feeling a little bit better and you're almost there. You're almost through.
Almost there.
You hit the rough of it.
Keep on trekking.
You're almost
done. The worst of it is gone. I will say, I've been clowning people who like get COVID ever since the beginning of the pandemic. I'm like, oh, how embarrassing! Like you got COVID, and so now it's me. But I also keep saying it's stupid. Obviously, that's dumb. I just keep thinking like, oh, how ridiculous. But of course, like whatever.
When you texted me, like I texted you the other day asking how you were feeling. And you were like, I got over like the embarrassing part of it. And I was like, what? In my head, I was like, what is embarrassing about this?
Oh, because how embarrassing to be the only person. Because now there's a bunch of people who are sick, so it's different. But when it was like just me, I was like, they're going to have to send a company email and I'm going to be the one. And it's going to look like I infected everybody. And like everyone's going to stay away from me for the rest of the year. Like, and then luckily, like one of my like desk neighbor is sick too, and it's like that's good. It wasn't just me. It didn't have to be just me.
It's like the cheese touch. The cheese touch from Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Yes. Oh my God. She's got the cheese touch.
Kelly's
the cheese touch.
Yeah. It's literally mortifying. So it's like, oh my God, how embarrassing for me that like I'm a super spreader. Like, oh my God. And so, or at least that's what I would feel in my head. But now the issue is I really don't have a sense of taste at the moment, taste or smell. So and I still don't I had it for the first couple of days when I was really sick. I was just very congested. Then the congestion went away and I still can't smell anything or taste anything. And it sucks. Like it fucking blows. And I keep being like, oh, the people who like that happens to, it's whatever, like get over it. Like you're being dramatic. No, they're not being dramatic.
That sounds, I wouldn't wish
so
that
bland.
Upon anybody. That sounds fucking miserable, but it's not your fault. It's nobody's fault. This thing's a fucking beast. It's gonna get whoever. It doesn't matter. You're vaccinated. All the people here are vaccinated. Mm-hmm. People are getting it. It's just happening. It's nobody's fault. So it is what it is, but we hope that you feel better. You'll have a great recovery. And it's time to talk about some websites, which when we talked about this topic, Kelly, you brought up a funny thing, which was Joe Jonas saying that one of his favorite websites is youtube.com.
Yes. Yeah. He said, I watched I couldn't remember if I'd said this on the pod or just to your faces. I watched the Jonas Brothers roast, which I suggest. It's silly. I think it's funny. It's not like, I wasn't like, dying over it, but I was laughing. And at one point, they were making fun of Joe Jonas for saying in an interview that, like, when he was younger in the 2000s, that his favorite website was just YouTube.com. And they were clowning him, being like, "Oh yeah, like really, really, really branching out there, like YouTube.com, whatever." And in my head, I was like, actually, it's a great fucking answer. YouTube is amazing. Like, YouTube might be the best one running, to be honest.
YouTube is one of the best websites to ever exist. And while we're on discussion of the Jonas Brothers roast, Brie, did you watch it?
I started it and I was like, is this a fucking fever dream? Like all of these like skits that they were doing, I was very confused. I didn't like it and I shut it off.
So I've heard mixed reviews like that. I have a take about Kenan Thompson.
Oh yeah? What is it?
Not funny. Like, Kenan Thompson was great when we were younger and he was on Nickelodeon and like Kenan and Kel and all that. And he was great. His humor has stayed Nickelodeon. And it also doesn't help that he's on SNL. So like, because SNL used to be really funny, now SNL is super fucking cheesy. Like, I saw a skit the other day with Pete Davidson. He was like Eminem and he was rapping about NFTs. And I love Pete Davidson and I will laugh at anything that man does, cringing out of my skin. I'm like, who is fucking writing these skits for SNL? Who's doing it? Because
there's these new 3 guys on SNL that I think might revive it. The 3 like little nerdy
the 3 sad
dudes.
virgins.
Yeah,
the 3 sad virgins that Taylor Swift sang the song.
They're actually funny, but there's always like one good skit out of the month for all of SNL, like one.
Right.
Otherwise,
like Kim Kardashian. She like saved SNL for a month because she was so good. But Kenan Thompson, his humor has stayed Nickelodeon into cheesy SNL, not good SNL, just cheese. Yeah. So I've been seeing a lot of him lately. He hosted the People's Choice Awards. He hosted the Jonas Brothers roast. What pissed me off was during the Jonas Brothers roast, instead of coming up with his own jokes, he was showing memes. Like, he was like, look at this funny meme on the internet instead of coming up with his own jokes.
The Kenan Thompson at the Jonas Brothers roast, I did not like. I think that I very much was like, the reason I don't like this roast is because of Kenan Thompson. And I'll say about Kenan, I have always loved him. I thought he was great. I do think he is that specific kind of humor where it's like slapstick sketch comedy that belongs on All That. Like, it is, he's still on All That, and he carries it over to SNL, and it works on SNL sometimes. But like, I don't know. You're right about it being silly, like Nickelodeon humor. Like, I laugh my dick off at Pierre Escargot when he's like in the tub and he's got that fucking, whatever. That was some shit on All That. And then now it's like he puts all the, he becomes Al Roker or something and he's on like the Jeopardy show and SNL. And that's like funny, but it's like, okay, whatever. But I don't know if it's necessarily him, because I bet that he's funnier than that. I think that he gets pigeonholed into like doing this stupid shit. Like, they had him dressing up as like a fucking elf or whatever at the People's Choice, right? Like, why are they making him put costumes on for People's Choice?
He's just
like,
a walking
he
bit.
deserves right. Like, he can like do more than that. Like, Kenan Thompson deserves more respect than dressing up like a fucking elf at the People's Choice Awards. Like, he can do better than that. Like, and I think that they just like, they keep giving him this thing like, oh, you're great for this. Like, it's lighthearted comedy, whatever. It's fine. It's like, Kenan's too old for that shit.
Typecasted at this point. Yeah.
100% he is. 100%.
Kenan Thompson's a sellout.
Yeah. I mean, if you're putting on a
Kenan.
costume at the fucking People's Choice Awards, you're a sellout.
I couldn't.
He's probably making bank, but like,
for sure. But the worst part about that costume thing is
I don't know.
I wonder what his net worth is.
It's either he's making a ton of money doing this or he's not making enough money and that's why he's doing it. It's like one or the other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The picture I saw of him dressed up, like, I didn't even register him dressed up at the People's Choice Awards, like on screen. I saw a behind the scenes video of him like walking to the stage, and the caption was like, when you got to host People's Choice Awards now and you got a meeting with Santa right after. And I was like,
oh, that's so like brutal.
40-something-year-old man just like he's like talking to people, they're telling him what to say and what to do, and he's like and he's wearing this fucking outfit.
Would you rather be Kenan or Kel at this point in your life?
Oh, Kenan.
Yeah.
Kenan.
Right, because I guess
Kel Mitchell.
What
the fuck is Kel Mitchell up to? Like, literally, what is Kel up to? I
guess
like
I would rather
pops
be
up every
Kenan.
once in a while.
You're right.
I know. I feel like I want to look on his Instagram.
Obviously, like, you love Kenan. He's so lovable and cute, but like, you're not laughing your ass off at Kenan Thompson these days. Sorry,
Mitchell.
this has become a podcast about how
Kel is
no
just
funny.
Working out now. He's a
he just
fitness
chills.
trainer. Yeah.
I feel like Kel's like hot now.
Yeah, low key.
Yeah, Kel is good. Kel is good. Yo,
Yeah, Kel's looking good.
Kel was like the funnier one. Like he actually, you know what? No.
Oh yeah.
Kel was
Who loves
only
orange soda?
Kel loves orange soda. Wait. I really think that Kel was originally like the Keenan and Kel together. Kel did the stupid stuff that was like slapstick and whatever, and he did the bits. So Keenan could be like a little like snarkier, you know what I mean? He was kind of like, and then every once in a while he would do silly things, and it was even funnier because it was like, I can't believe Keenan's doing this now.
Yeah.
And now it's only Keenan, and it's like, well, you don't have anybody to balance you out. You know what I mean? Like
And
now it's just you,
crazy.
man.
At the People's Choice Awards, I'm sorry, this is cracking me up that we're just talking so much about Keenan
I
Thompson
know.
right now.
I'm sweating, but I love it.
At the People's Choice Awards, he was like, he said something like, "You may know me from my show Keenan," and it's like, we know you from your show Keenan and Kel. Like, let's not forget our roots here, Keenan.
Yeah, what?
No.
Come on.
Never forget. Never forget.
I didn't even know he had his own show.
Well, anyway,
Honestly, I didn't even either. But yeah, whatever. Shout out to him.
Yeah, shout out to Keenan Thompson, who's really not that funny anymore, but still lovable. Let's talk about some websites that we love or have grown up on. I want to start off by talking about the Disney Channel website, which obviously
Ooh.
I always go back to Disney Channel. But some of my favorite games were on there, and it was the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody hotel one.
Oh my God,
Run around
so
the hotel.
So good.
So fucking good. Or the Lilo and Stitch sandwich one, where you had to stack the sandwiches
And catch them all.
Yes. And you have to put the mayo on and like all this shit.
Yep.
That was some prime time computer time. Like this was just the best of the best. And then you get like Webkins, obviously, Club Penguin, some of the greatest websites of our entire existence. And now it's like, where did these all go? What websites are kids going on now?
Apps. They're on apps.
Right. I was looking this up beforehand, and I was trying to think like what are the popular websites now? Like, what's like an equivalent? And they just don't exist. Like there are so many few websites that people visit now. Like it's like the popular websites have a monopoly on websites, you know? It's like you have YouTube, Google, like whatever, all those websites, and then all the like little straggler ones are like dark web at this point. Like you don't even fuck with it. You just get these apps for your phone and you like put it all on your iPad, and like that's how it goes. I think that's kind of nuts.
Do like Roblox. Grace's little sister just got in trouble because she spent $400 on Roblox, like on her mom's credit card, and I guess like the whole like school is just into Roblox. Like that's their Webkins.
I mean, it's crazy to think about. I just feel like we probably think this because it was during our time, but it was so much better during when COVID first hit and everyone shut down. Everyone was on lockdown. I did Club Penguin meet and greets online. I was like,
oh yeah, I was with you on that. Remember?
I was like, we all would go on, and I just thought it was funny. I mean, I was like, we're fucking bored. What are we gonna do? Let's go on Club Penguin. But it was not the real server. It was like a fake server that somebody made, but you could still use it. Erica was like, what is this website? Erica Nardini, our CEO, was like, what is this website you're going on? I want to come on and like come on one of these meet and greets. It caused a whole virus on her computer. Like she was like, what the fuck did you bring me on to? Like you fucked my computer up. I was like, oh, my bad. Like you said, now they're like dark web. Not literally, but like they're just, you can't go on them anymore.
Another thing too, is that a lot of these websites, because people loved them the way that they were, like for example, DisneyChannel.com, like no longer looks the way that it did. But I'm sure there's like a copy of it that you can still play all those games. But the problem is, and same thing with Club Penguin, it's like you go on and it's like you're going back in time. You're back on like a 2002 website, and so it's shitty.
Yeah,
like
is not compatible.
Right. So it doesn't actually like work anywhere, and I don't really get that. But
I'm on DisneyChannel.com right now, and
what do they do?
God, I want nothing to do with this.
Are there even games? Or is it like...
There's games, but they're not like Disney Channel. Like it's a lot of Mickey Mouse, which
Mickey Mouse Clubhouse,
which is like the classic Disney. It's not like the Disney Channel. Like you would have the Hannah Montana games, the Sweet Life games, the Raven games, all that stuff. What we've talked about when we all discovered YouTube, though, I feel like on this podcast.
Yeah.
Did we do a YouTube app? I feel like we talked about YouTube for a whole episode.
We might have. I feel like we might have.
We did. I think we did.
The Last Why, I think, had YouTube in it. But with YouTube in general, when you go on, even like YouTube wasn't a website for games. Like I feel like games specifically were such a big part of websites when you were growing up, because it was like the only thing as a kid really that you could do. You could like go on and, you know, unless you're trying to like research stuff or like look things up, which honestly I was like doing some shit like that. But otherwise, what else would you go on for? You know what I mean?
Addictinggames.com,
Yes.
World.
Did you guys ever do Adopt Me? Were you ever on Adopt Me?
No, what's that?
It was like
Adopt Me.
It was
You
for
were definitely on
animals.
some weird shit, Brie.
No,
What
it was for animals, and you got to like adopt your own animal, and everyone thought it was so crazy, or I did, because you could bring them outside and they would poop, and you would like online, like you would bring them outside and then you would virtually watch them poop, and you'd have to clean up the poop. And I just remember everyone would be like, "Oh my God, it's poop!" And there was like flies in the poop, and you could name them. You could like get a horse or a camel. It was crazy. It was awesome.
That was honestly the best when games were so real like that.
Yeah.
Like Nintendogs. Remember Nintendogs
Oh
on
my
your Nintendo?
God. That was so
God.
awesome. I missed that.
I named mine, my little chihuahua was named Chris because I had a crush on this kid Chris at school.
Oh, cute.
Isn't that crazy?
I mean, of course.
Yeah.
If you didn't like sketchily name everything you ever did after like your crushes at school, like I don't know what you were doing. Like every number that I put in anything was like sort of a locker number of somebody that I like had a crush on. It was all, I was leaving Easter eggs and nobody was looking for Easter eggs. Like I was just like leaving hints for no reason. I don't even know. Addicting Games was good. You know what is something that I was thinking about, what I was spending a lot of time on when I was young, that didn't have to do with games so much? You guys are definitely too young. Rhea, you may have caught it, but did you guys spend a lot of time on Napster? Like just downloading music illegally? It was just
I went on LimeWire.
LimeWire was like the next iteration.
You like
LimeWire and Kazaa.
I was like mp3.com or something.
LimeWire and Kazaa were like the next iterations, and they were legit for free. But Napster, when it first came out, I remember so specifically being in my, like, I had like a rich friend in the 4th grade, and we were like kind of friends, but I didn't really know, like, I don't know. It was weird how we like became friends. And then I just remember her being rich and her house being fucking huge. And we at one point like went into her dad's office, and he had this whole big ass computer set up, and it was like the biggest room I've ever seen. And we go in there and she's like, "Let me show you this." And she brings me on like Napster, and it was all these songs. Like it was just like the songs that were on the radio. And I was like, what the fuck? And they were all, I'm pretty sure they were like $1.99. Like I don't think that they were free. I can't really remember, but she was rich, so she just kept like pressing buy. And so we just sat there for like an hour and a half trying to think of songs to like download and do that. And then once like LimeWire and Kazaa and those things came out, that we could download them for free, and then videos and stuff like that. That's literally all we did. Like I would play games sometimes, but all we did was download shit and like look at shit. I feel like that's all we ever wanted to do.
And I feel like a lot of it was just illegal. Like a lot of
so illegal.
And like website shit was just illegal.
Completely illegal. It makes no sense to me, really. You know what I wanted to ask you guys? Is there any website that you now, present day, wake up and go check a website every day?
No.
Like get your news from it, or just go check on what's happening here, like anything? Because I don't think I have that anymore.
I go on like the classic websites for podcast reasons. Like I go on like Page 6, E-News, People, like just to check in what's like going on, probably
Right.
every single day. But there isn't a website that's not like work. Like for me, that's like work related, right? Like I'm going on there because we got to know what's happening. BarstoolSports.com as well. But otherwise, I don't know if there's any websites that I'm frequenting I used to go on Tumblr a lot every day. I used to go on Tumblr just as like an addiction. Like, I don't know why. I was like,
I never got into Tumblr. I never knew how to work it. It was too hard for me.
I got
to
addicted
figure
to
out.
other people's Tumblrs, like not even my own, but looking at other like famous people's Tumblrs every day, because sometimes they would like do Q&As on there, or a lot of times they would do Q&As on there, and you would just see shit that nobody else saw because they only posted on Tumblr.
Yeah, the Tumblr thing, I was like half and half Tumblr. I wasn't so obsessed with it, but I definitely had a phase where I went on, like probably towards the end of college, like maybe right when I was getting out of college, I was on there all the time, because all people would do was really like repost all these like pics of an aesthetic. And it was before Pinterest, I think. Like Pinterest wasn't around yet. And they were just like posting all these photos and all these like cute outfits and things like that. And that was like the only way that I knew, besides looking in magazines, it was like the only way I knew how people were like looking, what they were doing. Cause we, again, like Instagram was basically brand new, like celebrities were celebrities, but there was no way to like see what other people were doing and have people like fool us into thinking they're doing cool things in life. Like Instagram ended up being.
I remember my dad used to go on TMZ every day.
TMZ
like
is a good one.
Really?
Yeah, like my dad used to go on TMZ every day before I even like followed.
That's really funny.
That's where you
really
get it
funny.
from.
And kind of like weird. like
Kind of crazy,
that's like kind of weird of my dad.
He just wants to know what's going on. My dad, I'm pretty sure my dad still like every day probably goes on yahoo.com. Like he's always looking on the Yahoo homepage. Like I don't know why. Like I don't even know if Yahoo is like a good search engine anymore. Like I guess Google is such a monopoly at this point. It's like how do you even go against that? What about like weather.com? I used to go there every day. Now I don't.
Just to check the weather.
I did in high school, yeah.
Like you wake up and you're like, oh shit, what's the weather? And you like go check out what the weather is.
And weather online, you could do like 12 days ahead, like more than you could on your phones. It was like super cool.
Exactly. Weather.com. Also
what about Omegle?
Omegle
is I had, when doing the voicemails, almost every voicemail was about Omegle. Every single one. I missed Omegle entirely.
I wish I missed it.
I only had chat roulette, and then I was too old for Omegle. But it's like the same thing, right? People say it's similar.
Chat roulette and Omegle, same thing. Dicks everywhere. Dicks on everything.
Dicks everywhere. It was like so crazy in middle school. It was like, you want to see your first penis? Let's go on Omegle.
Yeah. Really not okay that we were.
Oh no,
totally not. No.
Think about how many.
I was 12.
Underage people were going on Omegle or chat roulette, and there was just grown men jerking off. Like, just
no, it's so gross.
Okay.
What's so fucked up too about it is like we were
we were
doing that shit too.
Yeah,
of course. We were doing that shit too when I was like 12. We were just in chat rooms, but like the conversation is not as scarring as like a literal dick popping up on your screen. Like we would find it accidentally and like cross it out and whatever. And oh my God. But we knew that we were just like talking to perverts, not like literally face to face. They could see us. Like, what the fuck? Like that to me is what's crazy about it. Did you guys do like, what was the purpose of Omegle? Like with your friends, or it's literally just like chat roulette?
No, with your friends.
You would get like a group, right?
And then you would all go on together, but you'd be like with each other.
It would usually be like really late at night, and you'd be with friends at a sleepover. And like, what should we do? Oh, let's go on Omegle.
Break out the laptop.
Yeah, break out the laptop and then delete the history like crazy after, so your parents don't find out that you were on Omegle. I never did it at my house. I was too afraid to do it at my house.
Of course,
yeah. Did it at my bad friend's house.
Of course, everybody has a bad friend. I love the bad friend.
All right. And while we're talking about Omegle and we're talking about all of these sketchy places online, you know that you need to protect yourself. And thank God we have Taser for that. With violent crime on the rise across the country, life is more dangerous than ever. It is time for safer self-defense with Taser, the perfect non-lethal sidekick to your self-defense arsenal. Taser's smart self-protection devices can stop threats before, during, and after you pull the trigger. Designed for home defense, your daily commute, and everywhere between, you need to keep your family safe. If you take the Taser Pulse Plus from 15 feet away, it can lock up an attacker's muscles for 30 seconds. Also with the Pulse Plus, it alerts emergency dispatchers with your GPS location as soon as you pull the trigger. It's attached to your phone. You need this. You need this to protect you. You need people to understand if you are being attacked, you need to shoot them with this Taser, and then you can call the police. Everything will be fine. So now listen carefully. If you get the Taser Pulse Plus today and save 15% off at taser.com/discount/high, spelled taser.com/discount/high, taser.com/discount/high.
Did you guys ever, or did you grow up dealing with, arguing with teachers all the time about Wikipedia.com?
Yes. We weren't allowed to use Wikipedia.
It wasn't true. Yeah.
Not a reliable source. Like I have the amount of times that I used Wikipedia to like do papers and things, probably like in high school, I'd say mostly. And if you're lazy, you reference Wikipedia and then they tell you not a reliable source. And then they like give you a fucking F. But all you have to do is like click all the way to the bottom and find like where they already got their original source and source it from there. It was like the hack of Wikipedia. But then people like teachers would catch on to that too. They'd be like pissed off about that. And I'm like, what the, like, it's on the internet. What do you want me to say?
What is that page called that you would put at the end of a paper that listed
Citation
all
page?
your sources?
Citations.
Bibliography?
Citation.
Citation, bibliography?
Bibliography?
Yeah.
One of those things.
You would just have to
bibliography
cite all your references.
Yeah, list all your references. That shit was so annoying.
Oh my God, I hated that. And it was never done.
Worst.
It was never done correctly, and they would never teach you how to fix it.
Right,
Nope.
Because each book, website, fucking article, the article that you found on a website would be different than an actual website. By far, the stupidest shit to come out of school, I would say. Like,
and
what is
no way that they were checking each of those references and going through them. They were just looking if they were like in the right margins and like, that's wrong.
Right. Why did they care about the grammar of the sites?
It makes no fun. The grammar of the bibliography, and also Brie, you're right. Like the spacing, like the way that it had to be. What was the kind of style? It was like
AP MLA, style, APA,
MLA format, AP style. It's like, I get it, whatever, sure. But also too, when you're submitting something, especially at that time, like I'd be submitting papers and shit like on paper. Like I wasn't emailing them in. Like we had to print it out and hand it in. So I'm like, oh, what? Are you gonna float to my bibliography, type in this fucking website and check and see what I did? Like it just doesn't make that much sense to me. None of it made sense to me. But I guess how else would you like prove where you got your info from?
Did you guys know about making your papers longer with the periods?
Make the periods big?
Make all your periods bigger.
Yeah.
I never did that.
They look the same.
Teachers caught on to that though. People
in your school they did?
People in my school we had all these tricks and teachers caught on so fucking quick, and then they would be so mad. Like sometimes teachers would catch on and we wouldn't realize they've caught on yet. And then they would decide to like make an example of you. I had so many of my friends that happened to where they'd like embarrass the shit out of them in front of the whole like class and be like, well, what did you do here? Like, this is 1.5 spacing. This is that. And then some kids were just too stupid to figure it out, to be honest.
Did anybody get caught for plagiarizing?
I don't think so. No.
In high school, my last semester of like ever being in school in high school. And I copy and pasted 2 sentences for like a homework assignment. And we had this new teacher that was from London. He had this crazy British accent. He rode a motorcycle. He was so mean. And he sounds like he would be hot. He wasn't.
I was about to say, he sounds cool.
No,
really
so
hot.
I copy and pasted 2 sentences and he was like a hardo, and I get called down on the loudspeaker at like morning announcements to the dean's office, and the dean sits me down and he's like, you know that your science teacher wants to expel you because you copy and pasted 2 things. And he came down and he was like, we do it different in the UK. Like, this is not acceptable. And then my dean was just like, please never do it again. You have like 2 months left of school. That was scary. I thought it was not going to graduate.
They took that shit seriously. I mean, I know somebody in my school that got threatened to be expelled for plagiarizing a paper. One paper, and they were a senior in high school.
Yeah.
And it's like, I just spent 4 years of my life here and you're going to expel me over one fucking paper?
It's so fucked up.
No, it's the plagiarism thing is really real. And I think Brie, you're right about the UK thing. Like, I'm pretty sure like they do not give a fuck. Like they just expel the shit out of you. Like, I wonder if there are levels to plagiarism. Like, I feel like you get expelled if you copy a whole fucking thing. Like, you take somebody else's entire work and you submit it as your own. But if you copy like a sentence or 2, or like you take a paragraph and you rework it, and then maybe you mention at the end that you like read their work, like, is that plagiarism still? Like, I don't know. I feel like the lines are blurred.
I think it's like simply like I literally copy and pasted and put it in an answer.
Yeah.
And then I got caught writing people's papers and I almost got expelled too. That was really scary.
Well, you're just helping out. You shouldn't get expelled for that.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry, you're smart.
Yeah, it was easy.
What are you going to do? Why didn't you get extra credit? Like, you did more than one paper.
Exactly.
Seems stupid.
Yeah.
Wasn't there?
Yeah, why didn't you get extra credit?
Give me the extra credit.
Like, fail these people, give you extra credit. You're the one that did the work.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a website that that teachers would submit your work to see what percentage of it was plagiarized?
Yes.
Yeah.
What
was that
called? That
I don't know.
started happening our senior year. They were like, okay, we're going to start putting your fucking papers, and then it would come back. I am so happy you remembered that. I just forgot about that.
Me too, until just now.
I need to find out.
It would be like, oh, 10% of your paper was copied. It's like, no shit, 10% of my paper is copied when I'm citing things in the paper.
Right.
I know.
Right.
And then we found out like the website, and we started using it before so that like it wouldn't be plagiarized.
Exactly. It's like,
What was it called?
I totally forgot that was a thing.
Was it just Grammarly? Grammarly.com?
It wasn't, that's not what it was called. It might be called that now, but that's not what it was called at the time. I cannot, I don't even know at all what it was called.
EasyBib?
EasyBib does sound right.
In college, yeah.
EasyBib.
That was to do your sites.
Yeah, that was to make the big.
Oh, now you can check if it's plagiarized on there.
Oh shit!
For free.
Honestly, though, like that's nice. Like, why doesn't everybody do that? Because you can check in and make sure you're not plagiarizing, whatever. Why was that like a punishment? Like, I feel like eventually teachers were like, yeah, go ahead, like put this in and check your work or whatever. But why spring that on people and surprise them? Like, give them a chance, you know? I don't know. It's like these.
I feel like we always end up talking about school, no matter what. Like, we're talking about websites, and we're back to talking about school.
What is it about school with us? We really do always
nostalgia.
Do that.
It is such a big.
It is.
Here's the thing: school is such a big part of our lives that just doesn't matter now. Like,
it's so weird.
It is weird
that you like learned and it happened there, and majority of the shit you learned. Like, do we use any of it? Like,
that's what I'm saying.
So much shit that we just do not use. No, math being the biggest.
I haven't used fucking math. Science, come on. No one's using science on a daily basis. What?
Script? Cursive?
Oh, God, no.
When are we using that?
No.
They were like, you're going to have to write like this. When you get to college, they would always say, when you get to college, you got to write.
No. When
we got to college, the teachers were like, please do not write in script. It's hard for us to read.
Yeah, it's like, stop doing that. Exactly. Yeah, I'm so glad that that by the time I was at school, like everything was on the computer. Like it was just because when I was in high school, that wasn't the case. Like I had to, when I was in high school, I could write stuff on the computer, but like middle school and everything, it was not. You had to write everything. And that was the fucking worst. And like there were computers, you didn't have to write everything. Like I'm not that old, but it was like, it was weird to have to submit things handwritten. And it also like, I don't know, people, you get points off for like bad penmanship.
Yes.
Like they would be like, oh, your writing is shitty. Like, or they would, my least favorite fucking thing is when, if you were writing something, and I have very loopy handwriting because I learned cursive. Like I grew up, Rhea, Catholic school. Did you learn cursive in Catholic school?
Yes.
Yeah.
I had to do it.
Nose to the grindstone.
I had cursive class every day.
Yes. Just crazy shit. And it was constant, always had to write in cursive. So now my handwriting is like a half and half. It's like very messy. It's just loops all day long. And so if I'm writing quickly, it's like hard sometimes. And teachers would they would circle it like 20 times and write like 3 question marks. And like, what is this? It's like, why are you such a dick? Like,
that condescending question mark on top of things. It was so rude.
The question mark.
Question mark.
And you'd be like, what are you fucking questioning? Just ask me the question.
Yeah.
So passive aggressive. And
don't be an asshole.
So mad. But it is true. We've spent more of our lives in school than we have outside of school. Even me.
Yeah.
Like
I've only been out for a year.
Did you guys have any websites blocked? Like, did your parents block any websites from you?
Ooh, no. My parents didn't know how to do that, thankfully. And if they I still to this day know more than my parents as far as like technology. So nobody was blocking me from anything. But I feel like they should have.
Yeah, my parents never blocked anything for me either. Really, everything was accessible to me. But I feel like I didn't use it to my full advantage.
Me either.
Yeah, I feel like half and half. Did you guys do back to a website I would go to every day? There were like a few that I would go to every day in college. I made some voicemails call about this too. Did you guys ever go on the website Text from Last Night?
No.
And it was just like, oh my fucking God, it was the funniest website. And it was just people would submit their texts to this website and then they would, and they would just like type them out. I can't even think of an example. It would be like oh, just got home just got home, ... from CVS, had to buy quick plan B. And we'd all be like, LOL, like they had a crazy fucking night last night. And it would just be like 100 texts of like messy shit back and forth to your friends. And they didn't look like text, like they would type them out. Like they would just be listed. Like they'd look like sentences with spaces in between. And I swear to God, we would wake up on like a Saturday morning and we'd be like, oh my God, like what's on text from last night? Like, let's see what's going on. What are people getting into last night? And I don't know if that was like I don't know how popular that was, but I know that all my friends knew it in college and all my friends in high school also knew it at the same time. But I don't know like how big it was outside of that. But it was the funniest fucking thing. Same thing with like Total Frat Move or Total Sorority Move, like those websites before. They were kind of at the same time as Barstool, but more geared towards like the Southern schools. So I think that they were like, I don't know. I don't know what happened with that, but every day.
I was just gonna say something and I fucking forgot. Shit. Damn, I lost it. It was like about to come out and then it just disappeared from my brain. But
I hate that so much.
I hate that. It was about the text from last night website. Fuck. Now I'm not gonna remember it. But do you guys remember the quizzes on Facebook? Like, do you remember when that?
Oh yeah. Oh my God, yeah.
I was addicted to taking quizzes on Facebook. When I first joined Facebook in 6th grade, I couldn't stop taking quizzes. Like that was the only reason I went on. It was like,
so fun.
What celebrity am I? Which Disney Channel star am I? What color am I? Like it was just everything. Any quiz I can get my hands on, I was taking it.
And I always thought like they were so true. The answers. Oh, I was like, do you see who I got? Like, I'm like, just like Megan Fox. Like, I thought they were so real.
So real. The Impossible Quiz, that website still exists. I think the Impossible
That one, I don't think I know that.
Oh my God. Quiz? The Impossible Quiz. Brie, did you like memorize the answers to the Impossible Quiz?
Yes. And I would like the website be able to make it to a certain.
Oh yeah. It was from Addicting Games, but then they like made their own website.
Yes. And then I think they have an app probably now too.
What? I don't know this at all. I don't know any of this.
Oh my God. You're home now, so get on the Impossible Quiz because
I'm going to do it now. That sounds
It's addicting. And once you get the answers right, you want to go back and keep redoing it so that you keep getting more right. Like until you make it further every time. And then you become really fast at it. Once you know the answers, you just like power through and then you'll get to the one that stumped you until you figure that out.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay. All right. I'm going to add that to my list. In that same vein, were you guys big on BuzzFeed quizzes and stuff when BuzzFeed originally came out?
I really wasn't.
On Facebook, because there would be links, but not like on
Facebook, right.
Yeah, they would like eventually make it to Facebook. It was always, BuzzFeed was another one that I would go on a lot because that became really popular when I got my first job. And I remember just like not wanting to do work and just like taking fucking quizzes on BuzzFeed all day and like sitting on G-Chat with my like best friend being like, take this quiz, you take this quiz, tell me what we're doing. And it was like just a combination of all the shit we would do when we were kids, but it was BuzzFeed and I was at work. So it was like not as fun.
Yeah.
But it was, I don't know.
I feel BuzzFeed like BuzzFeed was huge for a little bit, but it's definitely
huge. It's
over with now.
You know what though? It's over with for people like us who know better, but BuzzFeed is still popping. It's still worth like $1 billion. It's crazy. Yeah.
People are like still sending BuzzFeed articles to their friends.
Right, but like who is? You know what I mean? But it's not. They really are.
Got to be like different countries that are like these life hacks are so cool.
Right. The life hacks. They'll get you on like the Snapchat stories.
I'm always like, these are so stupid, but let me take a gander.
Let me see what's going on here.
Let me look, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. Stupid, but let me look.
Yeah. Dumb as fuck. Did you guys ever use instead of Google or Yahoo or anything, Ask Jeeves?
No.
At any time?
No.
No Ask Jeeves?
No.
Oh. Ask Jeeves was like, Ask Jeeves was so weird. It was like, it was just a search engine. I don't even know who it was powered by, but you would go on, it was called Ask Jeeves, JEEVES.com.
Wait, yes, I think. Was it like,
it was like a joke.
It was sort of a joke.
But he always knew the answer?
You could also get real. Yeah, you used to also get real answers.
I think I'm thinking of something else.
You go to AskJeeves.com. You would type in the response, and it was like he was like a Jeeves is like your butler. Like he was like a Jeeves. Like he was one of those guys, and the logo was like a butler guy.
Was he blue?
No, I think he had a black outfit and had like black hair.
I'm thinking of something else then.
And I think that's what I don't know, definitely not blue. But so you would type in the thing and there would be like the first result, the top result will be something funny, like in response to your thing. It would be like, oh, like how do I get to the moon? And then it would be like, the first thing would come up, I'd be like, oh, price on like how to build a rocket ship or something like that. Like it'd be a funny response. And then it would be like real answers below it. Ask Jeeves was the shit. Like it was just like it would take you longer to get to what you wanted to get to, but it was just fun. Stupid.
Do you know
what
I'm thinking about is you had a person in mind and the person could guess it. It was like a blue genie and you go in and you have like a celebrity in mind and they ask you a bunch of questions and then they always figured out who it was. Do you know what I'm talking about? I cannot.
Is that like
think of the details?
I remember something like that. I remember something like that though being like a crystal ball type thing. Like I feel like I was on a crystal ball website where questions would come up in the crystal ball and you would say yes or no. It'd be like, we're reading your mind. Like,
I forget what it's called. I hope someone that's listening knows. Yeah.
I bet they will know.
Yeah.
Do you guys do Ask FM?
Oh God, yeah.
Yes.
I never had one, but my sister had one, and I remember her being very upset at times.
Mm-hmm. It was just a playground for bullying.
A lot of the times it was my brother going on and writing things about my sister on her own Ask FM. And I remember
oh my God.
in Florida and her getting so upset about a comment on there. And my brother like hysterical laughing and her freaking out, like, why are you laughing? And then he said it was him. And it was just a war. It was like, why would you do that?
I mean, I would have killed him. I would have killed my brother if he did that because it's true. Ask FM, the bad thing about that too is people would write comments. And if somebody wrote a comment that was like maybe untrue or like just like a little true, so it's funny, but not like it's mean spirited, other people would be like, LOL, LOL. And then it would just be like a chain reaction of everybody.
It's a mom mentality. I mean, we see that now with all of us working on the internet, right? Like there's forums and shit where people say things and then like somebody says one thing about us. That means now everyone's going to say that about us because one person said it. It was kind of like that, like people you actually know, which makes it 100 times worse.
So much worse.
When you don't know these people, it's like, well, they don't know me. They don't really know me. Who gives a fuck? When it's people directly in your school or your family, it's like, whoa, this shit's real.
It's so fucked. You know what's something that I've never quite gotten a hold on, and I don't think I ever will, is Reddit.
Me either.
I will never.
So I actually blocked Reddit from my phone for a while because I didn't know about Reddit at all. I didn't even know Reddit existed until I first started working at Barstool. And I started working here and somebody brought up the Reddit once and I was like, what's that? And then I got hooked and I was like, what? Oh, the Reddit. Like there's a Barstool Reddit. People talk about you. I was new to everything. So it was like, oh, people are talking about us. And it just did not do good things for my brain whatsoever. So I ended up blocking Reddit from my phone for a while. And that obviously helped. And now I just don't go on it. I haven't been on it in I don't even know how long because I just know that it's not good for my brain. I do know that people go on it for like other reasons. Like I guess some Reddit I think Reddit in general is just like a toxic place because I think a lot of the times it's fan pages, right? For instance, Barstool, right? It's like Barstool for people who are fans of Barstool, but they're not really fans of Barstool. They just shit on every single thing and every person that works here. So it's like it becomes a place that's not even like really fan friendly. It just becomes a place of shit on. And I think that happens with every Reddit. I don't think it's just Barstool. I think it's The Bachelor. I think it's all big things. It just becomes a place for people to complain about what they're quote unquote a fan of. And so I think Reddit is like such a dangerous place to go on. Like just
I've never got on it.
I think you're
like people could just be really fucking mean on there.
You're right to a certain extent, especially like the Barstool Reddit for sure. But that's what I'm saying is like Reddit is so fucking big. Reddit's like the second biggest website in the world. Like it's like the biggest source of information for people. Like people go on looking for like tips on how to take care of their dog, like it is so big that I can't wrap my head around it.
Threads,
I think it is useful in some ways. Like if you have
I think that there's the bad part, obviously. There's the bad parts of Reddit, but there's but the argument can be made that there's bad parts of like every area of the internet. But with Reddit, and what I don't understand is, because I view it the same way you do, Rhea. I think that it's like a gross place for people just to go onto and like just hype each other up and talk shit, and like all the freaks go on there and it's whatever. But there's this whole, like, there are people who live and die by Reddit. And like, I, by association, I'm like, well, you're fucking weird. Like, you live on Reddit. Like, that's strange. But then I get people who are totally normal in my life, and I've known them like forever. And they're like, oh yeah, I was like cruising on Reddit. One of my very good friends works at Reddit. I found out kind of recently. I was like, what the fuck? Like,
Cody Co is always referencing Reddit. Always on
massive.
I will say there are like not bad parts of Reddit. Like you said, when people go on looking for like,
there's more like not bad parts than there is bad parts, I think is what it is. But we've never even seen the good parts because the bad parts are so glaring, but there's more good, I think. I'm
sure Cody Co's Reddit is so positive because like people just fucking love him.
And just funny. And
he's funny. And I'm sure like they just like, and they know that he goes on there. So they're like, they want him to like them kind of thing as well.
Totally.
I just, from what I've seen, it just has never made me feel good or like, I've never felt insightful going on Reddit, but I do know that people like it. And if it makes people feel like they're a part of a community, then I guess that's cool too. Like a lot of people go on and they talk to people and they feel like they're a part of something, and like that, it is what it is. But it can also just be like very dangerous as well.
I want to give you a couple facts about Reddit. Reddit has over 430 million monthly active users. It's raised 1.3 billion in funding, and it's worth 10 billion. 52 million daily active users. 52 million people are on Reddit every day.
Well, it's kind of like just like
isn't that insane? That blows my mind.
I think instead of Reddit, start using Dat Chat, people. Dat Chat, honestly, very friendly place. Love that.
It is.
Loving Dat Chat. Loving Dat
Go
Chat.
to datchat.com/Barstool for more info and download. I actually love that. I like go on and I talk to the people in the groups. And
Dat Chat is kind of like Reddit. It's a little bit
that's
like
what
Reddit,
I'm saying. It's like a similar vibe.
It's nice and it's fun and it disappears and whatever. I'm sure there's like,
there's gonna be
there's bad parts to everything. There's bad parts to everything, but I do think that Dat Chat's a lot nicer than Reddit, certainly. Right. I can't even get past that. Before we get into voicemails, I wanted to ask you guys also, do you remember Instagram before you had the ability to like click a link in bio to like go out to another website or to go out to like another thing?
Oh yeah.
Before you could even like put links. Like I feel like it was the worst fucking thing. Like it was so hard to go from Instagram to the internet in a way that I'm kind of woke on this. I think that Instagram is trying to abolish websites. Like I think that Instagram doesn't want websites to exist anymore, and it wants you to be able to do everything inside Instagram. Because I was thinking the other day, like, why do I even go on websites anymore? Like, do I shop online? I mean, sometimes, but a lot of time I'm shopping through my phone at this point. Do I, go on Amazon through websites? Sometimes it's like a big order, but mostly I'm on my phone. Like, I feel like there's
so many. Think Instagram is trying to become like Safari or Google Chrome?
Yeah, kinda. But I'll tell you what, searching within Instagram is a fucking nightmare. I hate you can't find shit, and maybe I'm not good at it.
Websites.
I feel like I sometimes
shop website.
Not as much.
I'll go to their Instagram and then click their link in their bio to go to their website. So it's like
right. Which right. So like, what's the way to? I don't know. I'm feeling like I feel like Instagram is suffocating us, and by us I mean websites. They're coming in and they're taking over, and I don't really know what to do about it. Yeah. Is there anywhere that you guys? I know I've kind of said before, but like. Is there anywhere you guys go on the website? Like think right now, like where are you going? Where are you logging into? I'm opening my computer, open up Safari, open up Chrome. Where are you headed?
Gmail.
Gmail.
I go Gmail every day. Yeah.
Gmail for sure. I am very much email on the computer always. Like email on my phone is annoying as fuck. Like it's fine and it works if I need it in a pinch. Email on my phone forever. I feel like I can just see better or something. Like it's just
feels better.
Feels less like a text. Yeah. I agree. All right, girls, want to get into some voicemails?
We shall.
Let's do it. All right, before we get into voicemails, let's talk a little bit about Black Rifle Coffee Company. So we talked about it before. They support a good cause. It's a veteran-owned coffee company serving premium coffee to people who love America. So veteran CEO and founder spent 7 years on the ground overseas. This is like a crazy story. So it's like some legit coffee with U.S. Special Forces as a CIA contractor. And he even modified his gun trucks during the invasion of Iraq to grind coffee anywhere. I mean, that he is committed to the coffee. This has got to be some good coffee. So it's imported high quality coffee beans from all over the world. They roast 5 days a week. It's good stuff and it's supporting a good cause. So if you want to check it out and you want to give back, you can join the Black Rifle Coffee Club, where you pick your perfect roast, how much, and it's delivered straight to your door. So you can go to blackriflecoffee.com/high and use code HIGH today and get the freshest coffee in America shipped to you.
All right, you guys, let us get into a couple of the voicemails. The first one we're going to play is called Predators.
Hey, you guys, huge fan. Okay, I'm calling about websites because I just had this crazy thought. Well, really, it's more of a realization, but every single website was literally, and probably still is, a breeding ground for predators. Think of all the websites we went on when we were younger, like Rhea and Bria, your guys' age, Club Penguin, predators, Webkins, predators. I mean, Omegle and Chat Roulette were set up for the predators, and I just really don't understand how these, like, internet wizards created breeding grounds for predators. Tell me what you guys think. Agreed predators, or was there some innocence and my childhood was just fucked up? Let me know.
I have a feeling it was heavy on the predators.
I think predators everywhere.
Predators
heavy.
Because once predators found out that you can access kids on the internet, it made it a lot easier for predators. Because predators 100%. Were just driving around
that's how Chris Hansen got his job going.
Yeah, they were driving around in their vans, looking around the neighborhoods. And then they realized, oh, we don't got to go anywhere. We can just get a computer.
Yeah. Right. We can show up to their house.
Yep. Right. We can be disgusting and shame and lure them here.
That's
exactly.
So
it's so fucked up. There's nothing that I think of that as far as the internet or websites are concerned that I don't immediately think of like all of the negatives, like all the perverted shit, all the freaks. Yeah. Okay. Let's now go to no bad websites.
Hey guys, love the pod. I've been listening since season 1, episode 1. I'm calling about websites because I am a digital strategist for a marketing agency in upstate New York, and I work on a ton of websites. And I just need to say, there is nothing worse than when a business has a crappy ass website. Like,
Zara,
to God, I will not purchase something from your business if you have a terrible website. Like, it's so embarrassing. This is 2021, almost 2022. You should have a good website. There's a million websites out there that will build you your own custom website. There's really just no excuse. So if you have a bad website at this point, you're losing a lot of business and you're pretty much stupid because there's a million resources out there to help you do that. Yeah, so that's all I have to say about that. I clearly am really passionate about websites. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I will be listening to the pod regardless if I'm in it or not. Okay, bye.
I chose
Zara has one of the worst fucking websites to ever exist.
An app too, like, oh my God, it's so bad.
Everything about it is so bad.
Yes.
And they have
like
great
so
clothes.
catalog. It's like, why? Just make it real fucking website.
Just make it a website because it makes me not want to shop on there, and I never shop online there, and it's also annoying to go to the store. So just fucking fix your website because they have the worst website of all time.
Ever. And they think it's cool.
Correct. It's terrible.
It's not cool.
They think it's cool, and it's like, oh, we're celebrating the clothes, like they want it to look high end or whatever. It's like, Zara, your shit isn't gonna look high end if we can't fucking buy it. Like we cannot support your business, and we're trying to right now.
Yeah.
I chose that girl.
All the fucking options.
Exactly. No. Like I don't even know what you got. And again, I'm not trying to go to there are lines out the fucking door down the block of every Zara here. Thank you to TikTok, honestly.
Yeah, because nobody wants to fucking go on their website, so everyone's showing up to the stores.
Yeah.
Exactly. Make it easier for us, Zara. But I picked that because I appreciated that girl's passion for being mad about people having bad
I also
People having
appreciate it
bad
because I
websites.
think
I
Zara
appreciate it
needs
too.
to fucking hear that.
Yeah, it like
Zara does
discredits
need to
your
fucking hear it.
business. It's like, okay, I don't trust you. You don't have a good website. I don't want to buy from you.
100%. Same thing too with like a restaurant with a bad website, bad
Yeah.
menu, bad like I go on websites to like restaurant websites to look at the food that they have. People are always like, "Oh, I just go on their Instagram and I look." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, you can do that." But I feel like the website is like, I want to look at your menu and I want a direct picture of like what it looks like. Is that hard? Is that hard to do?
I agree.
Apparently it is for a lot of places. All right, let's do the last one. Face in hole.
Hi, girls. Love the pod. I'm calling in for the W episode website. And I just had a flashback to like middle school on my desktop computer. I used to love to do the face in hole thing where you would like put a picture of your face like next to a celebrity and like whatever. I posted one with Zac Efron back in the day. But if you typed face in a hole, it was porn. And so like just the jarring experience of accidentally typing face in a hole instead of face in hole just like has really stuck with me. Anyway, love y'all. Bye.
Nothing worse than like trying to go to a website like that and accidentally typing something a little different. Porn.
That's what that's
With
YouTube.
Yeah.
Like I
Same
type
thing.
You
do one letter
U.
wrong, porn.
Mhm. If you
It's
do like the
always
legit
like
U to
Yeah,
porn.
Yep. Porn all day long. It's almost like they want us to watch porn, you know? Like they make porn almost too easy.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Right. It's so accessible.
So
It's so
easy.
accessible. We're all desensitized to porn. That's why people look at weird shit.
Yeah.
Because nobody's hot and bothered. Nobody's hot and bothered by like a nipple or something anymore. Nobody is.
Right.
No,
Nipples are nothing.
need to lamp up the
Insane.
ass or something.
Completely. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. I was watching
A lamp
The
up the ass
Great.
while the wire from the lamp is choking you. It's like not
Yeah.
yeah.
And then you
It's
plug it
choking
in.
And plug
yeah,
it in.
and electrocute you as well.
Yeah.
100%. I was
Throw it
watching
in a bathtub.
do you guys ever watch The Great with
I've
Elle
heard of it.
Fanning?
Yeah.
It's awesome. If you're into like old timey English, like monarchies and
I'm
whatever,
not,
it's really
but
good.
I know that people are.
It's very people are into it, but I swear it's very funny. Like it's supposed to be making fun of it, but it's also ridiculous and whatever. And they're all just like so sexually charged, like because all they do all day long is like drink and go to war and have sex, and that's like all they do. and they're all always doing like weird sex shit. But then I think I break it down. I'm like, it's actually not that weird. Like the stuff that they're coming up with when they're like bored with no internet and no electricity and nothing going on is very similar to the stuff that like we're watching in porn because it just like pops up. I'm like, shit stays the same.
Good on them for being ahead of it.
Yeah, good on them. See, so
They're
nothing's original.
trendsetters.
Don't think that's what I'm saying. Don't ever think that your thoughts are original because they're not.
Right.
But thank you to everybody for calling in for the voicemails. As always, if you want to call in for next time, it is 551-258-3436.
We're having a